You feel you are a creative person, and in your childhood, you probably enjoyed watching your favorite music videos of your favorite singers and singing out loud. You loved painting, playing your kid drums, creating new toys, doing experiments, pretending you're a scientist, playing, and many other things. But then something broke and you face the reality of your life. Maybe you didn't have the supporting environment around you needed so much to make your flower blossom. Maybe just because of life, you had to start earning money early. And there can be millions of reasons, and you know your personal ones. And these are just the troubles of the past, right? But what if today you still have the spark of creativity in your heart? You do boring everyday tasks, but there is a clump of awkward feelings inside you, and there is a lack of something like this childish, sincere desire to create. Sometimes you hear it, and probably you may share with your friends about them. Maybe you have tons of ideas which could change the world to better. These ideas stay in the room of unrealized wishes. Recently, after my personal drama, which lasted, frankly saying, my entire life, from where I couldn't find the exit, after several years of therapy, after hundreds of hours providing my personal psychological researches, probably thousands of pages written with rewriting techniques, and I decided, with no excuses, despite all of the walls of circumstances, express the desires of my childhood. Listen to my inner child no matter what, and do what I really love without losing myself, without fears of rejection and seem to be cringe, you know? And that matters to me because I used to delete hundreds of my poems, burn my journals another day in fear that somebody will read my feelings. I never finished the paintings, finally judging myself for the absence of skills and art education. Took thousands of vocal lessons, but always quit because I couldn't find enough money for it. Gave big sums of money to sound producers to record music, but never had enough will, and I felt weak to achieve something. But I found the main reason for it and a couple of secondary ones. Why all this happening to us, and how to overcome this feeling of being stuck and stay the course come what may. I've recently recorded a video about healing your inner child that was so therapeutical for me, and maybe it can be also therapeutical for you as well. So check this out, please. Especially when it has only 3 views, if I'm not mistaken. I think it can be a good starting point to find out your personal source in this issue and eventually start working in the direction of your goals. I hope so. That was the main reason why I recorded it. And now, my sunshines, we are diving deep into the reason why we feel stuck in our boring lives, losing our sparks of creativity. And I would like to start with mentioning a couple of successful people in creative field and who had struggled with judgment, lack of skill, but with unshakable faith to get what they desired. And I decided to put the stories into my video essay just to remind you that nothing happens in a moment. And the luck actually comes to people who try. Even according to probability theory, it's far more likely that something will work out for you if you make 10, 20, 1,000 attempts rather than not making a single one. The first episode you have probably seen millions of times, the episode where Ed Sheeran shows his early record, where his singing skills are far from perfect, you know? I'm addicted to you. And then. But I'm crying. And just a friendly reminder, we often think that someone is more talented than we are, maybe someone is more hardworking than we are. But I'm not sure, because many of you accomplish their job which you may not even love, to the extent you're able to earn money for that. The most important thing here is just to start enjoying it, okay? And now I'll show you the story of Steve Harvey, and the story speaks for itself.
And I said, come on, God, man, I've been trying to make this dream come true. You done left me out here like this. And I was crying so hard that he just said, I didn't like hear a voice or nothing, but he spoke to me. And however, he said, if you get up, I'm gonna take you places you ain't never been.
And here's another reminder for you. If you feel like giving up, it is probably at this very moment the universe is reaching out its hand to you.
Got on a plane, flew. Everything I had was in 2 bags.
And there are countless stories of people like this, and these stories that share a single unbreakable thread. Each of them rose to extraordinary heights from the very depths of nothing. And yet, for all that they have in common, each one is entirely its own, because every person carries the pain that belongs only to them and walks the fate that has never been walked before, right? And this speaks to you and to me too. Carry your own unique pain, your own wounds that no one else has known, right? And you hold within you a creative spirit, right? Unlike any other person on this planet. And you have your special personal light that belongs only to you. A path that was written for no one else but you. And God always offers the choice, right? And He's always preparing something greater for you. Something worth the wait and something worth the struggle, yeah? Sometimes in our pride, we silence the most important desires for you that are really true for you. And we usually hide behind the curtain of measured and safe life. And we are afraid to step onto the stage, right? But yet, God always walks with you. When you truly know this, your fear actually loses its hold because you are no longer wandering. You are already moving by the calling of your own soul. And doing so, you start living in harmony with your personal nature. There is, I would say, a brutal moment when a person sets down their paintbrush, probably closes their laptop or stops sending applications into the void, and we actually never announce it, right? There are no dramatic tears and no final speech, right? We simply stop. But what if this exact moment is the moment when the universe is finishing this bridge across your reality to the reality you want to have? What if the door isn't locked this time? What if it was just about to open, but you are turning away? And you know, history, it's not like a collection of talents, I would say. It's a graveyard of almost quitters, you know? They just decided for some stubborn or irrational reason, right, to stay. Just to stay. And we all know these stories, like Abraham Lincoln, he actually lost 8, if I'm not mistaken, elections before getting a president. Vincent van Gogh, he sold like just one painting in his lifetime, but he kept painting anyway, in poverty, in madness. We also know that Thomas Edison had like thousands of tries. All these people, they are not superhuman people, right? They also were exhausted, they also were doubting. They just didn't stop. And all this just waited for them to catch up the moment it had already prepared. And the cruelest thing about giving up is timing. And there is a research in behavioral psychology, like they took many different people from different fields. The breaking point quite always arrives before the breakthrough. But this silence before someone responds to your work feels, because this silence gives us the feeling of permanent rejection. And that's why this waiting is so unbearable for us. But in reality, the only thing we have to do is just to continue working, continue moving, not just waiting for a response from your life. The spark you think you've lost, it actually never goes out. It just goes underground. Even because of neglecting them, they actually compress. They are waiting in the dark room of your subconscious. These seeds are waiting to be grown. They just need the appropriate soil and a good parent to grow it up. And there is one important thing. It needs to be watered. It needs your regular care. It really waits for you to return. And you don't have to arrive to that state, to that creativity with your plan or probably with your healed heart. No, you can easily show up messy, uncertain, and sad. It doesn't matter. The universe actually doesn't reward the most talented ones or the most ready ones. It rewards the people who were still in the room when the door finally opened. And now, my sunshines, I want to share with you the main reason why we feel stuck, to my mind. When we get older, we stop enjoying the process and the moment, and we are getting used to foresee the result, money, and social approval. We got used to using our skills to get the result. We got used to get something in return for your efforts. And you know, guys, there is something important in the stories of people I shared in this video. This is love. The deep, unshakable love for the work they do, or the work itself. Not the validation of the world that may or may not be watching you, just the pure, quiet joy of the process, right? And yeah, they still had doubts in their heart, in their mind, but anyway, and probably they also had these dark thoughts in their head, but there is also a thing which cannot be extinguished, right? Out of the plot. This is a genuine, almost sacred delight in what they were creating. And they didn't just make their art, they lived inside it, and they were nourished by it, independently of fear and uncertainty. And this is my final message, actually the heart of everything I was trying to say. Create without the hunger for reward. Just learn once again to fall in love with the journey itself. Stop pretending to be your personal judge. Find that spark, that divine flame within you, the one which God placed within you. And you have to honor it. So when you do, everything falls into place and everything becomes whole. I'm sure, guys, everything will be okay. Just let yourself enjoying the moment. Love you. Peace out.